What is emergency response? What is your immediate imagination or thinking when we say we will discuss about emergency response? Yeah, correct. So what it means by that is we are not going to discuss how to prevent ammonia leak. What we are going to discuss is how we can take care after ammonia leaks, or how we have to gear up to handle the leak. That is a topic what we will be having now. These are the photographs which are taken from internet, but this is a situation of ammonia leak and this is emergency. That whole, when ammonia leak, you can see the fog, what it has happened. If it is liquid, the fog will be much more. If it is vapor, the fog will be less. And this is a situation, looks like there is a heavy ammonia leak and maybe liquid. So when the people are spraying water on that, the fog is becoming bigger and bigger. These are the cracks developed in pipeline, and there is a blast here due to ammonia leak. This is a cylinder head of compressor broken because of excess pressure. And this is a procedure to follow, or this is one of the procedure to follow when there is an ammonia leak. So from this, what we can say is how to handle ammonia leak in case it happens. So first thing we will try to analyze that why this happens, why there is an ammonia leak. Then we can take action to prevent that leak, and still if it leaks, then what we have to do. This is a way what we would like to discuss. So there are oil drain procedure. Most of the world accidents takes place while draining the oil. In our country, we feel very proud of not using any protective equipment to drain the oil. I have a 25 years of experience. I have 30 years of experience. मुझे कुछ नहीं होगा. मैं हमेशा ऐसा ही करता हूँ. कुछ जरूरत नहीं है. This is the thinking of the operators. And then even if you have a gas mask provided, even if you have a hand gloves provided, even if you have a goggles provided, we don't use it. First thing is we don't provide because of cost. We think of cost rather than human safety. And even if we provide, people don't use it because we don't compel to use them, or whatever may be the reason. So most of the accident happens in the world, not in India, even everywhere, is basically when we drain the oil. The reason is, when you open the valve, it may not happen that ammonia or anything will come out first, because these valves may be open after certain time lag. And if it comes with a certain surge. And when the surge comes, people are caught unaware, because we don't know when the surge is going to come. And once it comes, if you are not prepared, if your face is if you are bent, then if your face or your any body part is near to the surge which is coming in, that gets immediately affected, or you run away. And when you run away, ammonia keeps leaking because we don't have proper valves installed in the line, like quick drain valve, which are spring operated valves. When you lift the hand, the valve gets closed. If we don't have these valves, what happens is, it is a human reaction that when it leaks, if you are having a hand on the valve, if you are pressing the knob, then only ammonia will be drained out or oil will be drained out. And once you have any leak, our human natural action is you lift the hand. When you lift the hand, the valve gets closed. So it prevents the further leak or further damage. So this is a reason why we have to take the proper equipment, proper valves, proper controls, and proper precautions. So oil drain is one of the things. Another biggest problem is safety valve. As per the standards, for small vessels, let's say 60 pound or some or more than that, we have to use 2 safety valves, that is dual safety valve with an isolation valve. What we mostly use is a single safety valve. And most of these valves, what we installed, may not be as per the standard. They may keep blowing, and they are not resettable. So what we do is, when our pressure goes high, we install one isolation wall below the stop wall. And if our systems are not maintained properly, invariably the pressure goes above the set pressure. So बार बार ये wall से blast हो रहा है, मैं wall बंद कर देता हूँ. तो wall बंद कर देते हैं from the system rather than seeing the cause of why the pressure is developed. Instead of that, मेरा system बंद हो जाएगा, मेरा ammonia चला जाएगा, ये safety wall काम नहीं कर रहा है करके, we close the wall which is below the isolation, below the safety wall, and that safety wall is out of line, out of system. This is more dangerous situation than any other situation, that we have a safety wall, but we have isolated it. And most of the plants which I have seen, these walls are isolated because we provide wall. So this is one of the another reason why we should not, why we should have a proper safety wall selection with a isolation wall. Then proper safety wall piping. You have too many safety walls. If safety wall leaks in this particular hall, it is going to affect the people who are working there. So instead of that, if you have proper safety piping, it will help to vent the ammonia into the atmosphere from the safety wall, and we can properly work on a system without any problem. Then our earlier installations are mostly with flanged walls. We have hundreds of flange walls in our system, and after 10 years, 5 years, 50 years, 10 years or 5 years, the flange starts leaking. We just tight the flange and the leaks, we can't prevent the leak. And how many flanges you will tight? So what we have to do is, we have to use all weldable walls which are available. There is no need that it will never happen that there is a leak through the body of the wall. It may be a gland leak, but there are very rare chances that body leaks. So we don't never have to cut the body. What we have to change is, we may have to change the internal of the wall. So we have to use the weldable walls rather than the flange wall. Then high discharge pressure of the system. This is another major cause of ammonia leak. High discharge pressure, why it happens? There are many reasons why it happens. Inefficient design of heat exchangers and air in the system. These are the main two reasons, and most of the cases what we observed is air in the system. So we have to see that we are maintaining the proper discharge pressure. Then liquid traps. When we do the piping, if we do the piping like anything, the way we want, the way the site conditions are, without looking into the requirement of ammonia piping, then this happens. Then there are nowhere in India we get a refrigerant ammonia. What we get is ammonia. So what do I mean by that? We will see later. What we mean by that is, we have 5% on an average water content in ammonia. But what it should have been is 0.03%. So, and we never get that kind of ammonia. So what we have to do that? We have no choice. We have to charge that ammonia. Then what we have to do? We have to have a special system by which we can remove the ammonia. And if we don't remove ammonia, then there are chances that the corrosion from the vessel starts from inside and the vessel starts cracking. That is called as stress corrosion cracking. That happens not now. That happens at maybe after 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, but that may happen, the duration may increase if we have a proper material selection or the vessel is fabricated as per the standards norms. But in India, what we see is we don't follow any norm. We use commercial grade material for ammonia. So all these things, we are the creator of ammonia disasters, that we don't follow standards on our own. Why we need to compel on us to follow the standards? We should follow our own standards. So these are the causes why it happens. Secondly, preventive maintenance. We feel very proud of not spending a single money on preventive maintenance. That is a real fact in our all plants. Or if somebody comes to the owner or the responsible person that I need money to buy spare parts, he has been told to go away as you spend a lot of money on your plant. Money is the prime important thing. When the disaster comes, what happens, what you have saved? It is a very serious issue. You spend few money, if you install the plant properly, if you design the plant properly, what you spend on maintenance is minimum, yeah, optimum. So we have to spend that, otherwise we are going to create a disaster. Most important things what we remember before we take any emergency action plan is ammonia dissolves in water. That is a basic good property of ammonia. And we can, yes, we can make full use of this. Ammonia is lighter than air, which is excellent property of ammonia, which we can vent it to the atmosphere. So we can use this property of ammonia for our beneficial use for taking action on leak detection or preventing more damages. Leak is easily detectable by human nose. This is another advantage, that we can prevent the leak or disaster because we can sense ourselves where there is a leak. So another thing is oil is not miscible. So we can drain out the oil easily if our intervals are fixed for the oil drain and it is properly done. We can prevent leakage and we can prevent disasters. Then very hard to ignite. Ammonia doesn't ignite itself. Its ignition point is more than 760 degrees Celsius, which is a very large ignition point. What I observed in one of the plant where 40 ton of ammonia was in the plant and the whole plant burned, but ammonia line didn't burn, or there was no fuel added by ammonia to further add fire or further increase fire. The reason is ammonia ignition point is around 750 degrees Celsius. So please remember, ammonia is not classified as flammable. Ammonia is classified as toxic. So remove that fear from your mind that because of ammonia, the fire will get more serious or fire damages will be more serious. No, the fire damages are more serious because of smoke. If we inhale that smoke, it is more dangerous than inhaling ammonia. Because if you inhale ammonia, there are preventive measures can be taken and we can save the life of the human being. But if the person inhale the smoke, if the carbon goes inside his body, you can't do anything. He will die. But if the person inhale ammonia, we can definitely prevent the person and make him normal. It will not be a fatal. But if he inhales smoke, it will be a fatal thing. So we have to prevent fire rather than worrying about ammonia. This is what I was telling. We never get pure ammonia. This detection we have said. Now, how to take care of the leak or disaster, or if anything happens, how we should be geared up to handle the situation. Most important thing is to form a team. What do you mean by team? That team is headed by one team in charge, which he has a fully trained in ammonia, and he will be the boss of the factory in case of there is a leak. Even if you have an owner or if you have a MD or whatever may be the big organization you are, at that instant, this person is in charge of the factory. He will guide everyone from top to bottom how they should behave. So that kind of person what we should have, depending upon the quantum of people in that, what is the size of the organization, but every organization should have one person to take care of all this situation. Then he will create his own team. He should be left with creating his own team. It is very important because the people are working under him, they should work cohesively with each other. So the person who is head, he will select his team. It may be possible that the size of organization is too small, maybe two people. So okay, one is head and another is assisting him, or vice versa. So the team development is very important as a first step for catering with this kind of requirement. Then we have to write an emergency action plan. Whatever may be the scale of the organization, whatever may be the scale of the plant, we can write emergency action plan. When we start writing, we come to know what are the intensity, which are the areas we need to develop in order to have a minimum damage during the disaster. So, how to report the accident? It starts with that. Which are the areas where the probable leak can occur? So we start writing, finding out these points, and we can start creating the action plan. And we can train people for that particular action plan. So what we should know? Where is the fire? We should come to know. That should be the reporting formats or reporting activity. Then how to evacuate people? That is the activity. And what are the escape routes? Because when ammonia leaks, depending upon the air direction, we can guide people from which direction they can move. So it is very important that we have a equipment by which we can realize or we can recognize or we can see what is the direction of the air. It is very simple. So based on the air direction, we can ask people to go opposite side of the air direction. And that he can do it because he is aware of all these things. This is one of the examples. I am just giving some of the examples. Then assembly points. Each one in the organization should know where to assemble in case of alarm. I was in one of the factory as a guest, and there was a trial, or what you can say is the emergency action plan. They have one particular point that they will conduct trials. So there was a trial that in case of emergency, how people